So the keynote speaker, Professor Commodore or Commodore Professor, as you please, Kunle Olawumi, please, we invite you to take the podium and deliver your keynote speech today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome, sir. I would like to start on the existing protocol because of our time. But I must remark about my amiable chairman, who I'm very already we become friends because she's very acquainted with some of my colleagues in the military. Just mention General Olawumi, who was my colleagues in National Defense College. And I'm sure after this program, we're going to interact further. So I want to mention your presence and to acknowledge your presence here. Also, I'd like to go now to the chairman of this program. That's my brother, Quadri. I acknowledge you. Also, the chairman of this program, the person that actually chaired this symposium, who is also the vice chairman of this unit. That's Chineye Ude. I acknowledge you. Please, a round of applause for her. I know what it takes to organize something like this. It's a lot of work. And he actually got a very good PR guy who has been so good. And I think I want to recommend him for promotion. He has been fantastic, ensuring that I'm safe and that I'm also comfortable where I am staying. I must mention Professor Okon Emmanuel, who we have met briefly this morning, and I'm sure we're going to work together, maybe from here. Also, another panelist, Mr. Zeburo Kuti, I must mention you. You are welcome. And other members of this Human Rights Commission and the representative of the AIG. You are welcome, sir. When I was asked to come here, I actually hesitated a bit, but they called me from Delta. I used to be in the university in Delta, and they were calling me frantically that, oh, some MBA guys want to talk to me. And then immediately what came to my mind was that maybe I have a suit already. So I told the registrar in Delta that, please don't give them my number. And he said, no, it's like, it's a woman that she's very, we want to talk to you. And I said, okay. Whatever happened, even if I avoid them, they will still get to me. So I said, okay, give them my number. So, and I was called. This is a very serious time. Next slide, please. I was thinking I would be able to maneuver my slide from here. It could have been more convenient for me. Why am I putting on this slide? Madam just asked me, who am I? And I told her, I don't even know who I am. I really don't know who I am. So the PRO also asked me, please, can you send us your CV so that we can? And I said, just go on the internet and get whatever you can, because I don't know who I am. So about 1 a.m. this morning, I started thinking, I said, who am I really? So I asked ChatGPT Pro, I said, please, who am I? And this is what he said. This is not me. He said this. He said, Kunola means an intellectual force in strategic study whose research and also. And I look at it, I said, is this me? Is this me? I said, can you be more brief? That is too long. Then he said this one again, the second one. And I would rather, madam, I think I would rather want to be the second one. Because I'm not very comfortable to be called Commodore anymore. Because that's a 35 years previous. And now I'm in the academics, and I think I'm more comfortable being called professor. Next slide, please. You see, last year I was given an award for whistleblowing, and that is the genesis of whatever you are seeing in this country today. When I came out in 2021, when Buhari was hot and fearful, and I told him to his face that you are the one sponsoring the terrorism in Nigeria. And everybody thought by now I shouldn't be talking here. Don't you think so? Yeah. And immediately I was declared wanted in the country. And that's why MBA is my friend, because when I was declared wanted, a friend stood up. I'm sure you all know Mr. Falana, and said, allow me, we go together, let's go. And subsequently I was given this award, and I have to acknowledge the, I call him a sage, I call him an enigma, a hero of our time. That's Chief Gani Faremi. So I'm going to start this lecture by quoting him. I will come back to Falana later. He's not here. I've been looking around for him. I want to start with what Gani Faremi said. And this just captured the entire theme of this symposium. He said, in a country where injustice thrives, insecurity is inevitable. I can as well just say this, madam, and walk away, because that's the end of the lecture. Because this actually captured, beyond synopsis, I mean, this captured the essence of this lecture. In a country where injustice thrives, insecurity is inevitable. So without justice, there cannot be security. So these are the two variables that we need to look at. And he believes that the prevailing injustice and lack of rule of law in the country are directly linked to instability and insecurity. So nobody could have said it better than the chief himself, Chief Gani Faremi. And a round of applause for him posthumously, because his voice is still resonating in this country. Next slide, please. I'm not going to deliberate too much on this slide than to say that the way this country is, we have seen the enemy, and the enemy is us. The saddest thing that can happen to you when you are betrayed is when you are betrayed by your own brother, your own kin. I was on Channels TV in January this year. That was a very serious issue that has to do with the Fulanis trying to remove something from the Constitution. They call it, they want to remove something personal, I was making jest of them. Personal. They want to remove it from the Constitution. And Chamberlain called me and said, Commodore, will you be available to speak to us on this? I said, what is it this time around? He said, they're trying to tinker with the Constitution. I want your view. And I asked him, why are you people calling me after 3 years? The last time I came to your station, you guys, you were arrested. Buhari declared me wanted. You guys ran away from me. Why are you calling me again? I said, no, this one is very important because it's a constitutional issue. So I went. I did my research and I found out what was happening with the NFIU, that's Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit. And I discovered that some banks were set up when Buhari was there to sponsor terrorism, and to launder money outside Nigeria. Buhari set up these banks. And I mentioned it on Channels TV. And my brother, the SAN, sued me for 5 billion. Where will I get 5 billion? I've never seen 5 billion before. So I'm not going to go too deep, but if you ask questions at the end of this lecture, I think I have to stop to welcome my friend, Showore. Good to see you. Yeah, my friend, we are going to have a good time today together. So, he sued me for 5 billion, and I can be very troublesome with when it comes. I don't make trouble with colleagues. I make trouble with government, you know. So when he started this thing, I did my research again. I went to the Department of State. I talked to the Americans, and I discovered he's hiding somewhere in the US, and he was writing me a letter. And I said, okay, instead of me to fight him, I will report him to Tinubu himself. Because he's a Tinubu lawyer. I'm sure you guys know him. And this case was brought down. But I'm bringing it up today so that we should not be collecting money from terrorists to sue people like Showore, my friend here, or myself. Lawyers, people in your profession should stop collecting money that people pay as ransom. Then you collect it to sue us to court. I'm waiting for him to sue me again. And if you ask me a question, I will tell you more about who is working for, who paid him the money, and so on. We don't play. We don't joke. Okay? Because this country is more important. When I spoke to Buhari, I know that they could have killed me. And I said, the country is more important than Buhari. And he is dead now. Tinubu is there now. He will also leave. But we will get there. So, next slide. So, I'm asking I do respect, madam. I'm asking for judicial immunity today. In case maybe I will say something here. I don't want you people to write me. I don't like seeing those letters, when they come. So I'm requesting for immunity because I'm going to be a little bit hard on the topic because life is very important. Next slide. So I'm going to start with justice and equity. This is where I want to, put the lecture. The pedagogy I'm trying to use is like mixed method. What is justice? What is equity? I shouldn't be teaching this class because you are the experts in the subject. But I look at when wrongs are corrected and power restrained by law. This is very fundamental to me. Justice is structured pursuit of what people are due. Justice demands rules. 1, wrongs corrected, power restrained by law. Equity demands understanding. I'm going to talk about federal character later. A stable society needs both. In other words, you need justice and you need equity. So justice sets the standards while equity corrects the terrain on which people stand. And that's why we are doing all these federal character, RNG, presidential things, and so on, because we try to balance things. But I'm sure Showore is here is going to talk more about that. Why justice is the society commitment to fairness through systems and norms, equity goes a step further. It recognizes that identical treatment does not always yield fairness. Equity adjusts for historical burdens, structural imbalances. These are my words. Next slide. I'm going to move a little fast because we're going to the main thing. So this is the background to the studies. We are looking at the right to life and security. This is not theory. This is not an abstract, And this is not rhetorical. We're not here to speak rhetorics. We are talking seriously about life, you know. When life is gone, you can't take it back. There's nothing you can do to recover it. So we want to know whether Nigeria how can we transform what we are saying, right to security, from the theoretical premise that we all know to something that is enforceable. How can we do that? And this is very important because we have not been doing that. How can we do that? So during the plenary, I think we may have to discuss further. So next slide, please. So what are the challenges? Framing the challenges. Human rights means little without effective state protection. You cannot enjoy education, political participation, religious freedom. And today I have decided to discuss only 4. I know when you talk about human rights, it's vast. But because of our time, I've limited it to the right to life and duty of the state. The impact of insecurity on education, because I'm looking at education as key to insecurity because of this northern feudal system of almajiris that has produced millions of recruits for Boko Haram. The third one is political freedom. If I have my way, if I have magic, I'll just make sure Showore to be the president of Nigeria. Just announce. But when you look at the condition of political freedom in Nigeria, you saw what happened to Adeleke in Osun yesterday or the day before yesterday. It's an abnormality. It's disgusting. Whoever is doing that. It shows us like we are third world, below third world countries, you know. Like a banana, a republic, you know. Just look at an executive go down and just, you know, mess him up. So these are that's why I'm making this the third point. And as I said, I'm not a tribalist. I don't care if Tinubu is the president. If he's doing well, I will praise him. If he's not doing well or his wife's not doing well, I will say it. It doesn't matter. When Buhari, who is a Fulani, was not doing well, I said. And the last one, which is so important, is the freedom of religion and the reality of this mass killing that we are seeing. Next slide. Now, look at I shouldn't do this because I'm talking to experts, but I tried to pretend. You can see I'm wearing bow tie. I try to be like a lawyer too. So the right to life is the most sacred. Look at section 33. What it says. No one shall be intentionally deprived of life except under conditions established by law. But look at what the Janjaweeds, look at what they are doing in the country. Running amok, going to church, shooting people, killing, as if it's like a movie. It's like I'm dreaming. Look at what the Constitution said. The section 33 said, no one shall be intentionally deprived of life. And we have a president, a commander-in-chief, and he's watching. And people are running from churches and killing people as if it's a joke, like it's a movie that's not real. So if the Constitution is there and we can't defend this Constitution, then I don't think we have business in government. I really don't think so. Now, I'm asking whether Nigeria has fulfilled its responsibility, and the answer is no. For the past 10 years, we've not been doing that. I was hopeful when Tinubu was coming. I thought things would be different, but it has not changed. So you can see the statistics on the screen. We have 90,000 violent deaths. 90,000. If you kill one American, one. I did a research when they came to Nigeria to rescue one of their own. Some people think it's a movie. That is not true. It is true. And they spent about $1 billion. I spoke to my friends. How did he do it? They say it cost them about $1 billion to rescue one person from Nigeria. Now look at, we have a president also, a commander-in-chief. And look at, 90,000. If you are not alarmed, I am. If you are not ashamed, I'm ashamed. Now, look at 6,600 Nigerians were killed by bandits. We're not talking about one Nigeria. And it becomes normal. Nigeria remains among the world's worst affected country by terrorism. Next slide. I don't think this is something that is should make us happy. So I try to provide what should they do. I'm not going to waste time on this slide because they know what to do. Madam just mentioned General Laumi, and I told him about General Laumi that he's one of the most brilliant general I've come across. There's General Aduloju. There are so many officers, even just General Aliu, who worked with me at Defense. We have brilliant. Don't think military men just wear uniform and cock and fire. We have very brilliant officers. And if I now want to tell them this is what they should do, it's like I'm wasting your time here. They know exactly what to do. The problem is that our politicians are holding them back. Don't do it. You cannot go. Somebody call our soldiers to withdraw from their posts so that the terrorists can go and capture your children. So this is the problem. It's not this one. So I don't want to, next slide. I don't want to waste time too much, but I'm going to make the slides available for you. Insecurity and right to education. You are clapping. Don't worry, I'll make it available to you, no problem. Insecurity and right to education. As I said, there's no way you can remove education from the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. Most of the Almajiris that have been breeding for the past 60 years are the Boko Haram you are seeing today. So you can see what they are doing since 2014, abducting our children from schools. And we are looking. You can see nearly 1.3 million children are losing access to education. Imagine 1.3 million people in the next 40 years in this same country. 3 out of every 4 children within age 6 to 15 cannot read simple sentence. And look at China with their population. Go and check Singapore with their population and see the percentage of education, those that were educated, those that are literate. If you go to Denmark, it's almost 98, 99% literacy rate. Then we have Tinubu there, and we are having these issues, because these are contemporary issues. And they don't seem to care. It doesn't matter. As long as everybody moves to APC and we win again, life continues. That should stop. So we now have generation of people that are uneducated, and they're going to multiply the case of insecurity in Nigeria. So what are we doing? Look at the education system. So I'm going to, next slide, I'm going to give room for my panelists so that when it is time for us to interface, we may be able to develop them further. I'm happy Showore is here. We knew what happened in 2023. I know this is not a political forum, so I'm not going to really delve too much into politics, but we knew what happened. But why am I trying to say this? It's because in politics, it is garbage in, garbage out. If you have good representatives, there's that tendency that security will be a thing of the past. So I want to leave that to you. I'm not a politician. I will never be a politician. And my friend that wants to do, I'm going to support him. So, but this is very important, that political participation, and it's because of Shogori I put this red line. Political participation must never be treated as a crime. Because you want to be president and the police, my friend sitting here, they will be chasing Shogori up and down as if they are like Tom and Jerry. But I'm enjoying it anyway. It's like, it's like drama in the country, So Shogori, maybe later you come and sit very close. Next slide, please. Yeah, I've been joking. This is where I'm going to become serious. The issue of religion. Freedom of thoughts, conscience, and religion. Section 38 of the Constitution protects freedom of thoughts, conscience, and religion. Yet, Nigeria continues to experience widespread religiously motivated attack. More than 50,000 Christian deaths between 2009 and 2023. Over 18,000 churches attacked or destroyed. International Watch List consistently ranked Nigeria among the worst countries for religious killings. So this is not merely a security issue, it is a constitutional emergency. And I'm happy that we are all here together. This is a constitutional emergency, and the lawyers, the bar, the bench should actually rise up. When houses of worship becomes a battleground where you will see all these, when I see them, I just feel I should have a magic wand to just catch them, then just, do something to them. Because they will just enter church. People are praying in the church, then you enter church and start shooting them. In this country, and the president, commander-in-chief of the armed forces, is comfortable. It's comfortable. I don't understand. So, we have to address the issue of religion. Next slide, please. Now, this is the key point, the center of gravity of this lecture. Look at the board. The grand norm, the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Section 10 is actually mentioned the issue of secularity. So I want to ask my audience, is Nigeria a secular state? On paper. In reality. Somebody say yes. Yeah, maybe we don't understand the grand norm. When you have a constitution and the constitution states that you are a secular state, and in that same constitution, the secularity question, he said the governor of the federation or a state shall not adopt any state religion. That's what the constitution said. I didn't say it. And you can check. This is what he says. The governor of the federation, that's Tinubu, or governor of a state, like Zamfara State, shall not adopt any state religion. That's what the constitution said. And this Fulani will keep on flouting the constitution, destroying the country, and we will be afraid to talk to them. How many times will you die? How many times? Why are you afraid to talk to them? They are flouting the Bible. The Constitution is our Bible, it's our Quran. He said the governor of the federation or a state shall not adopt any state religion. Then, unknown to some of you, I'm sure Shogori will know, between Abacha time and Abdul Salami time, they tinker with the constitution. They did what? They tinker with it. They introduced Sharia in the constitution 73 times. Islam is mentioned in that same constitution 28 times. Grand Qadi of Islam, 54 times. Muslim, about 10 times. Some of you can do further research. I think it's about 10 times when I check, because I have to count one by one. Christ, church, Christianity, 0 times. So I tried to develop a league, like this football league, like European League. So I said in our Constitution of the Federal Republic League, Islam, 165. Christian, 0. Please clap for them. Yeah, clap for them. They won. Islam, 165 in your Constitution. And we are all here. We are lawyers. I'm disturbed. 165 times. Christian or any other religion, Isheshe, traditional religion, 0. They also have the audacity to come to the House of Assembly. They have the audacity to come and say that they want to remove the only thing that is helping some of us. The only thing that is in this constitution that is making us not to be Islamized completely. That the Sharia issue is a personal thing. It's written in the constitution. They now said, now we want to remove that personal. And that is why this lawyer, who is a Yoruba boy, who has a family in Lagos, who has office in Lagos, is suing me for 5 billion for trying to rescue his people, his family, his unborn children. He, a Yoruba man, is suing me, collecting money from terrorists and suing me. Because I'm trying to rescue his unborn children. What do I gain? What do I lose? Why should you collect money from terrorists and sue your brother? That is betrayal. And the punishment for betrayal in some areas, especially in Russia, is death. You don't betray your brothers, okay? You don't go and collect money from Fulani and come and sue me. So, this is the center of gravity of why there's killing in Nigeria today. Because the constitution permits them. And as I was saying, when Abacha and Abdul Salam did this, there's no time I could have told you how Basunjo was brought out from prison. Because immediately he came out from prison, he was brought to the east. I was in Enugu State. I was a CSO to a governor, and he was brought to our government house, and we have to basically rehabilitate and help with his wife, Stella. He never knew because he was in prison. He never knew what was going on. By the time they packaged him, I don't want to go into the secret of what happened, how he became the president. But by the time they packaged him, he never saw this constitution. The 1999 constitution, he never saw it. Until he was sworn in. And anybody can challenge me. When I say things, I wait for people to challenge me. He never saw it. So he was sworn in. Of course, somebody coming out from prison would have had time. Maybe he could have been able to say something about it, but he never saw it. And you should challenge me that he was sworn in with this constitution. He never saw it. So we need to address the issue of Islamic, next slide please, things that are in the constitution. Sharia law, secularity, and mass killing. Why there's mass killing is because Sharia code was written to the 99 constitution. Remember, it is the 99 constitution. That's why I gave that background earlier on. It is written to the court of jurisprudence. And in the Sharia Court of Appeal, stating that Sharia Court of Appeal is a superior court of record. I'm sure Madam will know what I'm saying. Do you know what it means? And I'm not making it up, it's in your constitution. So, constitutional post specifically a Sharia court appeal is reserved for Islamic religion. In other words, this court now, Madam cannot serve in the court. You must be what? You must be a grand Qadi. It's just for Islamic people only. But if you are living in Kano and you're a Christian and you are caught drinking beer, the Hizbah police will arrest you and punish you. So, and I want you to underscore that. So it means, as they are arguing that Sharia is for Muslim alone, it's not true. If you're a Christian living in Kano and you are caught for other blasphemy, you can be stoned to death. So why should we allow this to happen in the country? So this is the best place for us to have this conversation after. So my question is, what is a truly secular state? Nigeria is a truly secular state. Abi, we all agree today, right? So what is a truly secular state doing with constitutionally entrenched Sharia Court of Appeal? What are we doing with it? Why are we not interrogating it? Why are we shy? Why are we docile? Why are we too Christian? Christian, they say if they slap you here, you turn the other one, right? That injunction will not help us, okay? What is a truly secular state Nigeria? What is it doing? A Sharia court. What is it doing with it? And in this same constitution, there's no Christian, there's no traditional religion, there's no Isheshe Court of Appeal. And Obasanjo also allowed the 12 northern states to practice Sharia. I don't blame him. He just came out from prison, became a president, he has to do what they want. And the Fulani has been doing this with the Yorubas in the southwest. They know maybe you are not qualified, they bring you to power and they tell you what to do. Yes, they tell you what to do. So, the last point I want to mention here, is that a DSS officer? Are you from DSS? Okay. The OIC. Gentlemen, Nigeria is an Islamic state. Quote me. Because, look at, if you're a member of OIC, Organization of Islamic Countries. Gentlemen, we've been a member of OIC for 40 years. And you say you are not an Islamic country? OIC is not meant for, OIC is not for secular states. OIC is not meant for secular states. You must be an Islamic state. And some of you should go and study the OIC clauses. You are lawyers. Do you know that one of the conditions for you to be really recognized as a member of OIC is if you can have a Muslim president, quote me, consecutively. Are you following this Muslim ticket now? You must have a president, a Muslim president, after that another Muslim president, consecutively for at least 10 years. Buhari was president for 8 years. Muslim. Gentlemen of the press, pay attention. Tinubu now has been president of Nigeria for 2 years, plus 8 years of Buhari. We have qualified. We have qualified. Remember, it's been jungle. Jonathan will come, Basanjo will come, this one will come. They needed you to have president consecutively for 10 years. Muslim president. So, what you can take home from this lecture is that Nigeria is an Islamic state. We escape by just one small tip. If they have brought that in at the legislative arm, if they have removed that personal, which has to do with marriages, inheritance, and divorce, if they've removed that from the constitution, then Nigeria is now it's an Islamic state. And because I said that to our population to understand what is going on, a Yoruba man, SCN, sue me for 5 billion. I hope the Department of State Services and the other arms of American security are listening. We have some people that are working for the terrorists that are not also in Nigeria. They're hiding in the United States. They should pay attention to them. Why should you bring Islamism through the back door? In 86, Babangida led us to this. Buhari came, they continue. Now, Christians cannot worship freely. We are talking about freedom from fear. We are talking about human rights. But if you go to church, they will hunt you down. And the Muslim ticket seems to be very happy with it. Next slide. So we have, as I said, these are the statistics it shows for you. Next slide. So these are the problems. Lack of political will. All the sponsors of Boko Haram that have given, I know them, I've given it to them. They have the list. Since 2021, that I said the center of gravity of this problem are the sponsors. It took them 4 years for people to start catching up. Oh, the center of gravity are the sponsors. And today, everybody, including the Americans, seems to know that what I said in 2021 is actually the center of gravity. But what happened? Our government refused to arrest them, prosecute them. And see where we are. Since 4 years ago that I've said it, if they've taken caution, today we now have what is going on numerous places, Plateau, Benue State, Kwara, Ilorin, and so on. We wouldn't have them because you could have taken them off the streets. So that is the issue of lack of government will. And I will stay there. Next slide, because we need to go. So I came up with this 7-point agenda. We should teach Constitution in the school. Gentlemen, if you're into education, we should teach the Constitution of Federal Republic of South in the schools. It should be taught. And we should expunge religion from the Constitution. It's a secular state. We should just remove it from the Constitution. That's number one. We have to discuss about the OIC membership. It's either the same parliament that wants to remove personal. Because they think we are all fools. Because once you remove personal, we become Islamized. Because it's now, those facts now apply to everybody. But if you say it's personal, then it's only applicable to 3 things: divorce, marriage, and inheritance. But if you remove it, then it covers everything up to criminal laws. That means the Constitution of Nigeria has now said Nigeria is an Islamic state. Why they are doing this, I don't know. Maybe we'll discuss that during the plenary. So I said that we should discuss the OIC membership either at the parliament or we can conduct a referendum. Why can't we? Do you want to be an Islamic country? We can conduct a referendum. The other one is the issue of personal matters still exists because they could not succeed in removing it. So cutting people's hand and going to issue of criminal code shouldn't have been allowed. But it's going on, and we are still looking. Now, we should build advocacy. Some of you that are Christian, build up advocacy, and policy. Why can't we have Christian legal and civil response challenges to religious contradictions? If there's a contradiction in your constitution, there's a contradiction there. Why can't we build advocacy and policy, Christian legal and civil response to challenge this contradiction? Why can't we do that? Instead of somebody suing me for 5 billion, why can't he focus on something like this? And the other one is reciprocity, in favor of any religion. Because if you look at appointments in the government now, it's not balanced, okay? So if you appoint a Muslim to be CBN governor, okay, you should apply a Christian to be somebody in maybe finance, Minister of Finance. Why not? And I want to conclude by saying, what I'm saying is not about individuals, it's about the system, the legal and political system. Next slide. I'm very fond of some philosophers. One of them is Aristotle, Sun Tzu, and Clausewitz. And Aristotle is of the opinion that a modern state cannot tolerate normalization of religious killing. So, Nigeria needs to have a national database of known religious violence response. Of course, the Americans, they have. We have their database, and maybe we should make it national thing, Then federal prosecution of religious motivated attack. If people are attacked because of religious reason, they should be prosecuted. That's what the court is for. And you sentence them. Then we have to protect our churches. And all this thing I'm saying here is something that we can do, is what we do. But I think the government is not willing to do them. So let's go to the next slide. When citizens lose the right to life, every other right becomes meaningless. When schools are unsafe, the nation's future is compromised. When politics becomes violent, democracy dies slowly. When religious killings are tolerated, as it is now, national unity fractures. The Nigerian state must rise to its constitutional responsibility, not occasionally, not selectively, but consistently and universally. Next slide. Yes, my friends, I have to actually acknowledge, show appreciation to my friends that are here. I have to do this because I have passed through a lot. In fact, that I'm still standing here talking to you. Sometimes I think it's a dream, that maybe I'm dead, I'm just dreaming, that type of thing. So, Mr. Femi Falana, I have to acknowledge him. Please, a round of applause for him. Some of you are not, you don't understand why I was excited when I saw Showore here. You will not understand. Please clap for him. I won't say more than that, but he knows, and I know. And the third person is my friend, Dele Farotim. He's not here. Please help me to clap for him. And I have my reasons for doing this. And I think if you have more of people like Showore and Dele Farotimi, I think some of the rascalities, and criminal tendencies of those that govern us maybe will be reduced. So please, I want to specially thank them for their role. Next slide. Some of you may know this guy. I don't know him. I've never met him in my life. But there's no time this man will talk on YouTube and he will not talk about Olawumi. I don't know him. But he has been able to do something, He has been able to expatiate on my views in 2021, and he has educated a lot of Nigerians on actually what it means to tolerate the Fulanis. I said that we should teach history, teach the Constitution, but at this point, I'm also saying that we should introduce back history into our curriculum. Do you know why they remove history? You could have known that the Fulanis don't belong to Nigeria. You will know. You will know their history from Futajalon, how they came, and how they came here through Madam Fodio, and how they killed all the Hausa kings, and how they put, what do we call those that kings? How they put emirs in all northern states. You will know because it's in the history. So they remove history for you. So you are ignorant. You don't know that they don't belong here. There are so many things we also find out if they introduce history back into our curriculum. So aside from introducing the Constitution as a course, they should also introduce history back into our curriculum. I will shock you by telling you that most of your head of state and president in the past are not Nigerians. I will shock you. And that is why they treat Nigeria the way it is. Because I don't see any Nigerian that is going to, let's say you're a Nigerian, you are born here. Then you will go to Sudan and go and bring fighters to come and kill your people. Let's think about it deeply. A Nigerian will not do that. A Nigerian will not go outside and bring strangers to come and. It's like you're a husband in a home, and you now bring armed robbers to come and rape your wife, and you are watching the armed robber raping your wife. That's the way you should look at it. It simply means that they are not Nigerians. Some of them are from Mauritania, some of them are from Niger, some of them are from northern Cameroon, some of them are from Chad, some of them are from Mali. That is why they can invite chaos, anarchy to us here, because they don't belong to us. They are not us. They are just here for your resources. So help me to, whoever knows Marcel, please tell him I acknowledge him. He has been a great guy. So next slide. Next slide. Yeah, you can see my friend here also. There are so many other people I cannot acknowledge, that I cannot mention, that have contributed to my survival one way or the other. You won't believe it. It's not easy dodging these janjaweeds, when they are looking for you. So next slide. So as we mark the 77th International Human Rights Day, let us reaffirm a simple principle. Human rights are not symbolic, gentlemen. Don't just say human rights. Human rights, we wear t-shirt, is human rights. It's not symbolic. Take note. They must be lived, experienced. Let us understand that human rights must be protected every day. The Nigerian Bar Association has always been a guardian of constitutional order. Today's challenge demands that the legal profession not only criticize future, but lead the reforms necessary to restore faith in the Nigerian state. I thank you for listening. I look forward to our collective work. Thank you very much. My thanks goes to the moderator and all the panelists that have done justice to this topic. I'm not happy that my friend Showore has left, but I will catch him up later. But I must specifically mention Dr. Kuti. His academic sagacity and depth is very... please acknowledge him, please. He actually did justice to the issue of the historical nature of the pastoralist nature of the Fulanis. You can go as far back as Mansa Musa, the Mali, the Songhai Empire. We can go as far as we can. And I really love his approach that we should be, at least, more aligned to try to measure, hatred for good. I was in Israel for 4 years. I was the attaché to Israel, and there's a people that they call the Bedouin. I'm sure you know the Bedouin. They are just like the Fulanis. They're the same. They moved from Iraq, Iran, Syria, Lebanon, up to Turkey. They don't have boundary. They don't have countries. And it became a major national security problem for Israel. Because they moved from Iraq through Jordan, just walk across the Israeli desert, the Negev desert, and move across to Lebanon and Syria. And there's nothing Israeli has not done. They put booby traps, mines, they will use the animal to explode the booby. They are just nomadic by nature. But I went for my advanced course in 2008, 2009. And they were able to leverage on that problem. And that problem in Israel does not exist. All of us are educated and we can check. The Bedouin problem in the Middle East, as far back as Israel is concerned, has been solved. How did they solve it? We don't have enough time during this lecture, but we can do our individual research. So Nigeria should pay attention to what the Fulanis are doing. We need to elevate the discussion away from safety to national security issues. And as it concerns human rights, right to life, all the contributors and the contributions has been fantastic. I cannot give more than 10% of what I can do to this audience. Why? One, the topic is restrictive. Two, I weigh my audience also when I want to talk. If I tell you what is going on in this country, most of you will not be happy when you leave this place. Somebody said it's deeper than the way I'm looking at it. And when I spoke about the issue of Islam, I concluded by saying it is not personal. It is not individual. It has to do with the law and politics. If you check my PowerPoint, you will see it there. But having said that, we must understand that we and the Fulanis are not the same people. It's not about Islam. It's not about whether you're a Christian or Muslim. And I don't want to go into the history of religion and so on because my colleague is also here. You will see that most of the things we call Christianity, Islam are just some ancient books that were plagiarized by people. They converted them to Bible and Quran and so on. Now, don't let us go back into that. These are just ancient books that were copied by people. King James sat down, got some people to write and so on. So don't let us go into religion because that will divide us. Let us look at national security. It is not right for any people, whether you are a Fulani, Hausa, Igbo, to carry arms and start killing people. All in the name of maybe we should understand that maybe, okay, you are supposed to have a space. So if you want to have a space in Nigeria, so the way to do it is to carry AK-47 and kill anybody that you come across and take over the land and stay there. So two wrongs does not really make it right. And I want us to elevate that kind of consciousness so that we can save ourselves from the Fulanis. As I said, Future Warrior said something that it expected me to say certain things here. This is a legal environment, and let us just be as academic as possible, not political. I want to thank the moderator for a wonderful job, and I want to thank wonderful audience. We may also have time, maybe another time, another place, where we're going to discuss the challenge of this country and how Tinubu has failed us because he's afraid of the Fulanis. But this is not the place. Thank you very much, ma.
You have been a very attentive audience. Thank you for your participation. And I'm sure that the keynote speaker and the panelists have indeed found it an honor to come before you and to present their positions. All in all, what I can just say is this: find the courage within yourself to be the best that you can be in whatever environment that you find yourself in. Sometimes it's not about the position. Sometimes it's just about the courage to do what is right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my Lord. We want to deeply appreciate His Lordship, Honorable Justice Fadipe, one of the best judges that has ever sat on the Lagos judiciary bench. We are proud of her and her judgment, and we are grateful that she's a friend of the bar. At this point, we are going to beg my Lord to kindly assist us in presenting these awards to very deserving. Okay. My chairman, please.
Thank you. We want to call the senior advocate, Mr. Taidi. He's a friend of the house. Please, and a senior advocate of Nigeria. Please, we want you to, on behalf of the MBA Ikeja Human Rights Committee, to present this plaque of appreciation to my Lord.
My Lord, Honorable Justice Olubumi Fadipe, I wanted to add SAN. On behalf of the Tiger Bar branch of the Nigerian Bar Association, I present to you in appreciation of your conduct, not only here, but even on the bench. It's been very inspiring. I've read a few of your judgments, and we just urge you to keep it up, and may your ink never run dry. Congratulations once more. Thank you very much for coming in.
Yes, please. You present to the keynote speaker. Yes, ma'am.
Commodore, retired Professor Kunle. Yes, so definitely not tired Professor Kunle Olawumi. As he said, there is a Major General Olawumi who is married to my best friend. So as soon as I heard the name, I was very excited because I also gave the, where the best man talks at the wedding. I actually gave that speech on their wedding day. So when I saw his name, I was very excited. Thank you so much. We thank you for the light that you bring to this very disturbing topic. I know that it cannot be easy for you to know all that you do know about the security challenges that Nigeria faces, but you still prod on, despite the fact that we make you go through arrests and 5 billion naira suits. And that's why I said 5 billion. 5 billion naira suits. We thank you for your consistency. We thank you for your love for the nation. And we thank you for your contributions. It will not be in vain. Please accept this plaque as the appreciation of the Nigerian Bar Association Ikeja branch for your commitment to today. Thank you so much.